Hey, it's Diego with Aim Shoot Develop, and today I'm talking about how I do these really cool transparencies over Instax Wide, Instax Mini, or Instax Square film. So you can see here, I have the transparency cut up that I put over the pack of film. And yeah, you get the little branding and you get the flames all along here. I got the idea from this YouTube channel that doesn't post anymore, but there's a wealth of information on the channel, so I'd check it out, Analog Things. It's in this video here, watermark your Polaroids with filters. And here's the YouTuber Marco who runs Analog Things. And I'm gonna link the files to make your own filters, but just know that they are originally from his channel. You can see these links here will be in the description, but they're Analog Things files. I just wanna make that very clear. In this video, I'm gonna show you what you need to get this going, what paper you'll need. There's a file, how you'll need to format this, and yeah. Here you go. Here's the basic part of the filter itself, and this will be cut out with a stencil knife. You can use scissors, but yeah. The thing you'll need is this Apollo transparency film. This brand works fine. It's the one that I've used. I'm sure there's other brands, but this is the one that I've had really good success with. This one only prints in black, so this is Apollo premium quality. Plain paper copier, you can see on the thingy, it only prints in black, and there's 100 sheets, which is in its regular 8.5 by 11, which is the regular piece of paper. But if you wanted to do color like the filter that I showed, you have to use the inkjet printer, which is this transparency film right there, inkjet printer. It'll let you print in color. And on the back here, we'll show just compatibility. So yeah, if it's your printer's not on here, most likely if it's an inkjet or a laser printer, you'll be fine. Obviously, you can design it any which way you'd like. You can see that's pretty close to the actual size there. And there's some things to keep note when making this, is that the design, since the film has white borders, it won't go over the white borders. That part's just like to mask the thing. And then on the bottom, you do have an area that will tuck this filter over the film. And so you have this space that won't show up on the design as well. I did it kind of just for continuity's sake, just to, push the design forward. But you can see that this bottom part does not get exposed, and then these corners do not get exposed. So when you want to do it, you want to kind of keep like a finger length above, beyond, and then a little bit down here of just, keeping the design within these parameters. Here's one that I did for a friend. I think another thing to keep in mind too is you don't have to play in just the wide format and take it this way. This makes sense for group photos, which I'm usually doing, or situations that have a lot of area like this. But you can also do it portrait style and design it sideways, and then flip the design to basically put a person here and have like kind of like a magazine cover type energy. And I think that'd be really cool for a design. I just wanted to let you know that if you use black, it will interfere with the design and light will not pass through. And so if somebody's caught between the black here, it will not show, because black is the absence of light. And so yeah, and on this bottom design, I went with the pinkest pink I could find, and it's very, very, very subtle. Unless it's literally white and it pokes through, but some of the like really deep shades of color might not show up, and that takes a lot of experimentation. I've only done a few, and they're so subtle that I'm okay with this. But if you wanted really rich hues, it's going to take a lot more experimentation. So just something to keep in mind. On my home printer, if you just hit print, it'll print it to this actual size on one piece of paper, but you'll get, just one design per piece of paper. And on the black one that's here, you'll get 100 photos. You can get 100 prints because it's only come in the pack. In the colored paper, it only comes with 50 photos. So you definitely want to limit how many you do, because you only have 50, filters to make. And if you're experimenting, you're going to take a few to get it right. And so what I recommend doing is, if you're going to make a batch of these, or if you're going to make a few designs to try out, just basically make a 8.5 by 11 sheet, copy and paste it in, and it'll stay true to the size, and then just put it so you can just print as many on one sheet as possible, so you don't waste any of the sheets that you have. This will also help if you don't have a printer at home and you go to like FedEx or something. This is how you'd want it to be formatted. I went the other way with having the designs this way, and it basically made it into one big filter, like the size of the sheet. So if you do take the design somewhere else, I recommend do it to the actual size and then just copying and pasting and printing from this design. And then when printing out the design, there's two sides. There's one that's printable and one so the rollers catch the actual like film here. So there's one that's, you know, printable or whatever. And there's a rough side and there's like a matte side or like a glossy side. And it prints on the rough side, but it stays on the matte side to like, I don't know. It depends on the printer, but usually you put it upside down, and then when it prints, you know, like the rollers flip it over, it'll print this way. So you probably want to put it like shiny side up, and then it'll flip around and do the thing. It all depends on printers and, you know, what you use, but you can see it on the thing. It has instructions on the paper itself when you get it or you buy it. But something to keep in mind that there is an orientation to the paper as well when you print it. And then you just cut out along the lines here. You want to kind of stay true to the original plan here. And these notches do mean something. It's not just an aesthetic thing. And I'll show you when you put it on a pack of film. Okay, and so this is just a dummy pack. Do not feel like I'm wrecking a whole pack of film. You can see that it's already exposed. I have a video about tricking the Instax Wide Evo to send the prints through Bluetooth. It's a short but interesting thing. But anyway, I have a dummy pack here and I'm going to show you how to install it, which is a thing in itself. So when putting in the pack of film, you usually align the yellows to the top there. And I have D for dummy pack on the thingy, but you install it this way. But if you look, the chemical pods are on the bottom. So basically the top orientation of the film is the thick parts here and the thin parts this way. So you have to put the filter upside down when installing it. And again, there's another caveat that's real interesting. So so this is the film. It'll look like this with the thick part on the bottom, which will look like this, right? But since Instax film is exposed from the back, you have to mirror it backwards and then put it upside down, or at least upside down how you think. It's best to do this, obviously, when the pack is, you know, you're barely installing a pack of film because it's easier. If you have a dark changing bag, you can switch between filters. It is a hassle, but it's possible to do, and I've done it a few times, especially when testing some of the stuff. And so to do it properly, this is read properly, and to get it mirrored backwards because the film exposes from the back, you have to put it upside down and like this. So it'll be like this, but the text is legible, so you have to mirror it, and then the text will be legible on the positive here, or on the, you know, other end. And then basically what you want to do is you can do it either which way. It depends, whatever you feel fit. I'm sure there's a proper way, but you basically want to do it to where one of these is sticking out like this, like so, and then you want to tuck these into the side and then tuck these into the side, and yep, just like that. And so basically your filter lays flat. You can see here that on the top there's a notch, and the pick arm will won't catch the film. So this is the pick arm, and it basically catches here and pushes the film outwards and upwards, and you know, it'd get pushed this way. And so if you have these deals here, it won't, you know, push the film out. I've had one time this filter come out because I did it like this, or I did it the other way, and eventually just went and, you know, came out with the photo. And here you go. This is what the photo looked like, and it looks terrible, but still kind of cool, still kind of a vibe, but not the intended look. So yeah, there you go. Just like this, you know, tucked everything in. You want the filter to be flat, so there's no like waves or anything between the thing. You know, tuck these in, tuck the sides in, and then make sure that this does not get pushed out. And you can see that this is what these notches are for. So it stays orderly, it stays flat, and, you know, it doesn't get pushed out. And honestly, that's it. These things are really simple, and I think there's a lot of opportunity within these filters. some of the things that you should know if you start doing a little bit more experimentation is if you take the pack of film outside of an Instax camera and then reinsert it with another filter, you want to put another dummy photo on top of it, because on at least the 200 or maybe the 210, the first photo you take from an Instax camera with a new pack of film, it thinks it's the dark slide. Obviously, it'll throw off your exposure counter, but it thinks it's a dark slide, so it won't fire the flash. It won't fire, I think, the shutter. I'm not sure, but basically it'll just eject the photo and none of the features, especially flash, will work. So if you put a new filter through a dark changing bag between sets, obviously you want to keep this light tight, it won't fire the flash. So it's just something to keep in mind, something I found through just, constantly working on this. And yeah, it's basically your oyster to experiment with filters and colors. Probably the last thing is just, it's kind of an obvious thing, but you have to keep this on the whole pack. I'm usually not one to carry a dark changing bag everywhere I go. It's a big hassle. So I've basically just been like, all right, you have to commit to this look the whole pack. And so there are times where some of the colors and things will start to mesh together, and it's still kind of a cool look. But if you want to do something a bit more subtle, you can do like a small logo on the side, but you want to keep a lot of the real estate for people, subjects, things. I really like this photo, the one of, I really like this photo because the logo just aligns here. It's a nice light value, and so this looks like it was just supposed to be there, and the flames kind of add a little something to the car design and something like this aligns really well. And if you have a specific look in mind, you can really play with your environments to do that. It goes much further than just like the flat surface. You can really start doing some cool stuff. I think there's a lot of branding opportunity here. Obviously, these are for friends events that I had cooking up, so I was motivated to just kind of go out there. And I can say that this will differentiate you from the pack 100%. Everybody was absolutely stunned when they saw the picture develop and they had like their logo on the thing and the flames. Like, you know how cool that is? Keep in mind, a lot of people already like instant photos, but how many times do you have a specifically branded one? So really cool. And yeah, I think that's it with the video. If you found this interesting, make sure to follow. That's pretty much it. Peace.